And hello everybody, it's your boy Hasboy82 here again, and we're back with the last review from this new wave of G.I. Joe classified figures, and the last one I got was Torpedo. Now, like I said, this is the end of my reviews. The wave, I still didn't get two figures from it. I didn't get the repainted bazooka, and I didn't get the I didn't get the copperhead from it. I don't really know if I want to. I'm debating. I'm like on the fence 50-50 about getting the bazooka. I am not entirely sure about getting Copperhead though. But if you guys would like for me to take a look at the rest of this wave, then go ahead and just leave a comment and I'll consider I will actually pick up Copperhead. Although I'm really on the fence about it now with how this whole wave has just gone for me. I got horrible paint on a rock and roll. I got paint scuffs on a shipwreck hat, which wasn't super bad, but was still annoying. And then I was just disappointed with Scrap Iron's drone. It was just way too overpriced. Now, this Torpedo, I hope, is good. I don't want it to be bad. I don't want to be like, oh my god, no, it's messed up. I don't like being a hater of this line. You know, there are some sad and delusional people out there who are like, see, I told you, this whole line is garbage. I told you, you're getting what you deserve because I told you. Like, those psychotic and sad people are sad and psychotic. They need to just grow up and not wish a line to be bad because, I don't know, they got some sort of, they were slighted in some sort of way by the line, so now they gotta be a party pooper and poop on everyone's parade and be like, I told you it was all garbage. Like, y'all are sad. I don't want the line to be bad. I want it to be good, especially since the next wave has some of my favorite Joe characters. So I hope those were just, unfortunate accidents. So far, Torpedo looks good. Let's get his little tackle box out. I know that's not what it is, but that's totally what that looks like. Little tackle box here. Alright. I mean, so far from just a glance, he looks good. Let's get him de-roped. Worst part window is packaging. Ugh, I hate that noise. You know what? This will be the start of a new tradition. We will come back when I get the ropes off. Alright, and we're back. We got the ropes off them. Well, we have them untied at least. Alright, yeah, so far I'm not seeing any, greater paint damage. No crappy paint scuffs or nothing. It's all looking pretty on the up and up, which is, it's good. That's how we want it to look. No one, hang on, his holsters are messed up. I need a box for reference. Alright, yeah, but I see. So this needs to be turned more off to the side, like that. And then this just needs to go lower on this thigh. That's been a pretty common problem, is them being packed funny with their leg sheaths and holsters and stuff. Alright, let's get his accessories out of the tackle box. Now, he, in my opinion, comes with some pretty great accessories. I like his style of knife. It's just a diver's, it really is like a diver's knife. Let's go ahead and bust that in the sheath already. Yep, there we go. His scuba diving pack. I'm glad it's a separate piece. I was convinced that it would be completely molded, hard molded with the mask, but I'm glad it's separate. Oh, here's this awesome submachine gun. Like, damn, this thing is awesome. get the magazine in there already because, you know, it's such a little piece. Hate to lose it. Hate to lose it because I didn't load it. Hate to lose it because you didn't load it. Wonderful. And then we got his harpoon gun, which unfortunately is bent. Nothing a bit of the old magic fingers won't fix. There we go. People get so dramatic about bent weapons. You're like, that is so easy to fix. You know, if it's just bent, if that's the only problem, if it's really bent, heat water up, and if it's pliable enough like this one, just magic finger and quit being so damn dramatic. Alright, you know, my attitude slipped around. I think this is a pretty solid figure so far. Got the flippers. These are just great. Let's get those on. Let's get those on his feet. I gotta figure what the best way to get them on would be. Oh, hey, that's pretty good. And they hold on there like really good. Let's get that other one on. This time, yeah, okay, no, you have to go from the front or else you're not getting that on there. From the front, and perfect. Get his flippers now, which bend really good with the articulation, don't seem to get in the way, and that's going to make him a really stable standing figure. Speaking of articulation, let's get on that before we get farther with him. Full 360 at the head, up and down, dumbbell at the neck, full 360 on the arm, butterfly joint, only slightly limited by the web gear, double jointed elbows, torn at the wrist, or the calm piece springs. That's nice. It's nice that that's separated enough like that. Crunch at the waist. That's a good crunch. Swivel at the hip. I mean waist still. Ooh, feels like he's maybe a little seated tightly on the peg there. Or maybe not. Okay, no, I think, yeah, he's perfectly seated on the ball joint, which means no hitches on that. Drop down per usual. Very nice. Articulation at the thigh. Double jointed knee. Can he kick his ass? Very close, very close. Let's repop that in there. Yeah, I think he could kick his ass if I bent it a bit more. Twist at the ankle. Up and down on the foot. Rocker. Rocker on the foot. Yeah, perfect. That is a wonderfully articulated figure. Good old Torpedo. You know, he didn't let down. I'm very, very happy about that. Good old Pedo here. Good old Pedo here. Yeah, that was a very, very stupid decision the cartoon made. I think in the debut for Torpedo, which would have been in the mass device, you know, when they had the thing that could teleport shit everywhere, and they needed to collect all the materials, and the references on the box where he shows up and he has to fight those gross-ass eel things. People shit on the G.I. Joe movie for having so many monster creatures, but the show had a ton of shit just like this. And those things on the pyramid, or not in the pyramid, the things on the spaceship in the Dark Pyramid in the Dark Pyramid storyline, and just all sorts of strange creatures, like, all the time. So I don't know why people flip when the movie did it, when the show did it all the time. But whatever. Anyways, yeah, they were like, it's Torpedo, and then, like, later he's he's scuba diving, and they're like, Pedo, come in, and then they call him Pedo a couple more times. I don't know why they thought, I don't know who in the recording studio was like, hey, maybe, I don't know why no one in the recording studio was just like, hey, maybe we should not call him Pedo. Torpedo is not a super long name that needs to be shortened or anything, but I just thought that was funny. They do it again the next time he shows up, which I think is in the Dark Pyramid. He shows up in that as well, and they're like, come in, Pedo. Yeah, maybe don't call him that, because that is an unfortunate nickname. Those slip in there real loosely, or at least this one slips in loose. This one goes in really tight, which hard to. Now that I have both, it's like, oh, slip in easy or oh, slip in hard. What do I prefer? I don't know. Maybe something in between. Let's get the pack on him. I'm gonna have to line that gear up on his back. That's always frustrating when the gear doesn't line up perfectly with the hole. Here, that's gonna be. Come on. There we go. That's more in line with the hole. Yeah, there we go. Now that sits very nice. Like the renders made this look like it'd be way bulkier, but that honestly, that sits really flush along his back. I like that. Let's get the mask on there. If one thing I can say I would have liked to have seen would have been maybe transparent goggles. The eels have their transparent mask, and now granted, I can see why that's easier to do for them because it's just like a face shield. But in the show, he's got transparent goggles, and I just think that would have been a nice look for him. I don't know. But so far, very happy. Got everything put together. Let's get him in a sizzle reel. Well, actually, hang on. We'll show off while we're still at this angle. We'll show off the gun clipping in here. Yeah, that actually clips nicely in there. I like that. That's nice because when he's underwater, he's not going to be shooting this. In case y'all don't know how bullets work, they don't work well underwater. He'd probably be using the torpedo or the harpoon gun. So let's get him. Oh, did that clip too far up? No, I would say that's like the perfect spot to really clip that in there. Very nice. Let's get into the pose. Alright, we're back in the posed shot. God, I played around with him a bit when I was getting him posed and when I was trying to work the harpoon gun in his hand, which I made way difficult. Which I was making way more difficult than it actually is. It's a little hard, but because thankfully this harpoon gun is molded in such a soft plastic, it's actually not that hard to work on his hand. A lot of the other guns that get molded in the more rigid plastics, those are the ones that are such bitches to get in the hands because they're like fucking molded with this hard ass plastic, and it's just way harder to get those ones. And this one actually wasn't too hard, so again, thankful of that. And I just have to say, my impressions while playing with him to get him kind of in this pose and to get the gun in his hand, this is such a good figure. This is definitely the best figure of the wave. I can't contest that. And this just might be one of the best G.I. Joe figures of the classified line so far. I'm trying to think about any other figures that might be more of a standout, might be something a little greater, but I'm coming up short. This one straight up might just be one of the best figures they've made so far. Can anything top this? I don't know. Maybe if you have more of a bias towards a certain character, you might think they're better, but I'm like looking at what I have and I'm going through my head of the line right now, like what's been made, and I'm like, I don't think anything has been better than this figure. It's just so fucking solid. And thankfully I didn't receive any fucked up paint apps or nothing. Everything was perfect on him. The holsters were a little weird on him out the box, but that's fixable. It's weird that that's still occurring, but like that is such a common thing, but it's okay. You just literally turn them around and it's okay. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, might just be one of the best figures this line's seen so far. He's just great. I don't know. So perfectly simple, I guess, is what it is. God, I don't know, but I'm awestruck, honestly. I'm just like, I can't even think what else to say because I'm like, well, this is such a good figure. Yeah, I don't know. All I have to say is, I don't know, great figure. Looking back through my whole wave, I just got really unlucky. Shipwreck is a good figure. I just got unlucky. Mine had a paint defect on the hat. It was such a minor one too. It was alright though. That figure ultimately maybe scores like a 7 or an 8. No, it's definitely like a 7.5. No higher than that. Yeah, maybe an 8. Maybe just barely an 8. Just barely an 8 on that one. And that of course varies on if you actually like Shipwreck the character, because there's, like I said, a lot of people don't. So if you don't, then yeah, you're not going to want that figure. It's really that simple. rock and roll. I had it has just a whack paint defect on the shoulders and butterfly joints, which is so fucking whack. It's so it just looks so awful, and I don't know. I'm gonna see if I can do anything about that. Contact Hasbro or something. I doubt it. I doubt I'm gonna be able to see anything return out of that, but it is what it is. But also, that's not the only paint defect possible. That's one of many. I've seen so many rock and rolls with so many different paint defects. I saw a reviewer got one, and the face had the paint from the beard applied all over it. Like, it wasn't all over, but it was like a bunch of blonde specks just all over the cheeks and forehead. And that's really fucking embarrassing and annoying that happens. And I've seen tattoo errors where the tattoos are all like messed up and like blended into each other, so they just looks like black smears on his arms. That's no good. But like I said, I've seen a lot of defects with him, so that's a risky figure. It's a nice figure ultimately, but if you get lucky enough to get one with no defects, I'd say it's a good figure. Me, I got one with a defect, so I'm kind of pissed about him and not very happy with him, so he gets a 5. If I got one without defects, he'd maybe score an 8. He'd score an 8 if he didn't have defects. Now, I want to say Scrap Iron definitely scores like, I don't know, probably an 8.5, the figure, because my figure was great. It had one weird paint chip on the knee guard, but yeah, it wasn't super bad, and it's not super noticeable. It's only noticeable under the bright lights, so it sucks, but it's a good figure, so I like it. But his drones gets like a fucking 3, because it only has like 3 points of articulation. But nah, like maybe if it had more articulation, it'd score higher. Since it doesn't, like, and I wasn't expecting a timber level articulation for it, because like, where are they gonna put all those joints? But definitely, I expected bare minimum of like 5 articulated points. I expected both treads to move independently of each other. Like, each leg has 2 treads. I expected both the treads on those legs to move separately, but they don't. So it gets a fucking 3. Very static. It's nice shelf presence. It really is, because I'm looking at it on my shelf right now. It definitely helps bolster like a nice Cobra unit, but it's still embarrassing how static of a piece it is, which I just couldn't accept for that price. Like, if it was cheaper, I'd say it'd score higher, but since it was so expensive, it scores low. It was overpriced. It was overpriced for what it was. Torpedo, this dude gets a 9, maybe even a 9.5. Hell, what the hell? He might even just get a 10. He is such a fucking good figure. Like, I'm struggling here to think what's making him not a 10, and so you know what? He's a fucking 10. He's like one of the best figures this line's ever seen. Definitely a standout of this wave. Definitely, because he was sold out for forever, still sold out several places. If you want to get one, I'd recommend Big Bad Toy Store. That's where I got mine. Yeah, definitely scoring a 10 on me with this guy. He's just so fucking good. He's so fucking good. He's got to be one of the best Joe figures that this series has seen. I mean, he's perfect. He is perfect. He's a 10. He's a 10 for real. So definitely stand out of the wave. Definitely brings the wave rating up, because like I said, the wave rating, I wanted it to be like the wave would score an overall 9, but because of all my problems, I was giving it like a 7. He pulls it up. He's pulling the wave score to around an 8, because he's such a good figure. But I mean, yeah, if I recommend any figure of this line, it's of this current wave, it's definitely gonna be Torpedo, because he's just fucking perfect. I'm at a loss for words. I'm just repeating, I'm stammering, I'm messing up, but it's because it's like I don't know what else to say. He is so good. Like, it's unreal. It's unreal how good he is. I can see why he was so sold out. He is a banging figure, and yeah, I don't know. Everyone and their grandma had to get one, or maybe even multiple. He might have been sold out because I think people are gonna troop build him. If I had that kind of money, I'd get like 5 of these guys. Nice little scuba diver guys. I'd get 5 of them if I could. Yeah, I don't know. He's definitely grown on me. I was actually really hesitant about him for a while, funnily enough. I was on the fence, and I was thinking, no, I'm not gonna get him. I don't really need him. I'm not a big fan of Torpedo, so I'm gonna pass. I am so glad I didn't pass. I would recommend you not passing if you ever get the opportunity to get him, be that in a store, be that if you saw him luckily like on Amazon or something. I don't think he is. He might be now. He might have stabilized and he's in stock on Amazon. I haven't actually checked. All I know is GameStop and Hasbro Pulse have not restocked them, so yeah, I had to get mine from Big Bad Toy Store, and I think on Amazon he was available, but he was like either marked as temporarily sold out, or he was not going to ship it for like another 2 months. Like he was marked as shipping out in September, and now I know that means it wasn't actually going to be September because he's here right now. He's been out for a while. He probably would have shipped sometime in August, like this month, probably next week or something, but I wasn't going to take that chance. I needed him now for my reviews, so that's why I went through Big Bad Toy Store, because they actually had him in stock and shipping. So yeah, I don't know, but bottom line, one of the great figures of this line. The greatest figure of this line so far, I might say. I don't think that's a hot take. I don't think anyone's going to fight me on that one, because I'm really struggling to go through figures we've seen, and I can't think of a single figure actually like just superior to him. Maybe it's a close one between him and like Spirit, but that's only because Spirit comes with his amazing, Bald Eagle Freedom. I don't know. That might be the only one that has like real competition to him. He's a perfect figure though, in my mind. This is a perfect figure. So yeah, he's getting a 10. Highly recommend. If you get the chance, get him. You won't regret it. Well, you might if you get a paint defect, but this is such a simple color scheme. I can't see it defecting too much. And mine is perfect. There's no defects, which is amazing. I wish all my other figures in this that I got would have came like that. Yeah. So I don't know. Glad I got him. Hugely glad I got him. Just a great figure. This is gonna be it for me for a while, because I just can't. I'm not able to get a hold of any. There's not any newer figures coming out that I don't want or can get. Like, if you guys want, you should leave a comment or like telling me to pick up Copperhead, and I will, and I'll pick him up for the review. But until I see something like that, he's gonna definitely be a pass for me, because he's such a plain figure, such a boringly plain figure, and not interesting to me in the slightest. That's not a stab at any Copperhead fans, which I'm not, all 2 of you out there, I'm sorry, but yeah, you pick him up in Crocmaster, and eventually they'll make Falcon, and maybe even Deke Cobra Commander armor, and you'll have your whole little Deke squad there, the squad from the Deke animated cartoon. But I was not a fan of the Deke era, so I'm definitely big passing on him. More of a Sunbow fan, so that's why I have like Scrap Iron, and that's why I'm super hyped for the retro Firefly. Yeah, my next biggest anticipated figure, like what might top this figure for me if I get a perfect one, will definitely be Lowlight, and that's a personal bias. Like, I'm not sure that he is actually a better figure. I just fucking love Lowlight so much, and I love what he comes with, and I'm so hyped for Lowlight, so I'm really hoping when I get my Lowlight, it's a good figure. It's not a defective, fucked up one, otherwise that's really gonna fuck it up for me. But if it's perfect, like this guy was a perfect, no defect figure, that might be my new number 1. But for now, it's as it stands, as what's released right now, number 1 is Torpedo. I don't know what to say. An amazing figure. An amazing figure. Definitely a big recommend to anyone. Big recommend that to Marvel Legends people, anyone who collects any kind of figures. Like, yeah, it's better to stay within a line, but this guy is so plain, he'll go with anything. Anything maybe except Star Wars, because he's not science fiction, but that's just so tough to have anything go with Star Wars. This guy would look great lined up with like a bunch of S.H.I.E.L.D. agents. This guy would look great lined up with Hydra agents. This guy would look great next to like Captain America. I don't know, he's just a generic looking scuba diving guy. Nothing about him screams, hey, this is a G.I. Joe. This just screams, hey, this is an amazing frogman scuba diver. I don't know. Great figure. This is an amazing figure. It's just an amazing figure. So yeah, that'll be it for me. Definite big fan. I can't wait to come back next time. I can't wait for y'all to come back next time if you do. Thanks for watching, and I hope everyone has a great day.